Hello everybody. Today we are going to discuss a relational model. The relational model was a collection of tables to represent both the data and relationship among these data. Each table has multiple columns, and the column has a unique name. Here, a relation refers to a two-dimensional table containing rows and columns of data. In customer table, the fields are customer number, customer name, customer address, a relational model represents the database as a collection of relations. A relation is nothing but a table of values. Every row in the table represents a collection of related data values. These rows in the table denote a real world entity or a relationship. The table name and column names are helpful to interpret the meaning of values in each row. The data are represented as a set of relations. In the relational model, data are stored as tables. However, the physical storage of the data is independent of the way that the data are logically organized. Some popular relational database management systems are DB2 and Informix, Dynamic Server, IBM, Oracle, and RDB Oracle, SQL Server, and Access Microsoft. SQL Server and Access Microsoft. Next, relational model concepts. In relational model concepts, number one, attribute. Each column in a table Attributes are the properties which define a relation. Example, a student roll number, name, etc. Number 2, tables. In the relational model, the relations are saved in the table format. It is stored along with its entities. A table has two properties, rows and columns. Rows represent records and columns represent attributes. Third one, tuple. It is nothing but a single row of a table which contains a single record. Next, fourth one, relation schema. A relation schema represents the name of the relation with its attributes. Fifth one, degree. The total number of attributes which in the relation is called the degree of the relationship. Sixth one, cardinality. The total number of rows present in the table. Seventh one, column. The column represents the set of values for a specific attribute. Eighth one, a relation instance. Relation instance is a finite set of tuples in the Rdbms system. Relation instances never have a duplicate tuples. Ninth one, relation key. Every row has one, two, or multiple attributes, which is called relation key. Next, 10th one, attribute domain. Every attribute has some predefined value and scope, which is known as attribute domain. Next one, relational integrity constants. Relational integrity constants in DBMS are referred to conditions which must be present for a valid relation. These relational constants in DBMS are derived from the rules in the mini world that the database represents. There are many types of integrity constants in DBMS. Constants on the relational database management system is mostly divided into three main categories. Number one, domain constants. Number two, key constants. Number three, referential integrity constants. First we take domain constants. Domain constants can be violated if an attribute value is not appearing in the corresponding domain, or it is not of the appropriate data type. Domain constants specifies that within each tuple and the value of each attribute must be unique. This is specified as data types, which include standard data types, integers, real numbers, characters, booleans, variable length strings, etc. Next, key constants. An attribute that can uniquely identify a tuple in a relation is called the key of the table. The value of the attributes for different tuples in the relation has to be unique. Example, in the given table, customer ID is a key attribute of customer type. It is most likely to have a single key for more customer. Customer ID is equal to 1 is only for the customer name Google. Here in the table, customer ID, customer name, status are the fields. In customer ID it is 1, customer name is Google, status active. Number 2, customer name Amazon, status active. Number 3, customer ID, customer name Apple, status inactive. Next, referential integrity constants. Referential integrity constants in Rdbms are based on the concept of foreign keys. A foreign key is an important attribute of a relation which should be referred to in other relationships. Referential integrity constant state happens when a relation refers to be a key attribute of a different or same relation. However, that key element must exist in the table. Next, operations in relational model. 4 basic update operations performed on a relational database model are insert, update, delete, and select. Insert is use it to insert data into the relation. Delete is used to delete tuples from the table. Modify allows you to change the values of some attributes in existing tuples. Select allows you to choose a specific range of data. Whenever one of these operations are applied, integrity constants specified on the relational database schema must never be violated. Insert operation. Next, the insert operation gives values of the attributes for a new tuple which should be inserted into a relation. Next, update operation. We can see that in the below given relation table, customer name is Apple is updated from inactive to active. Next, delete operation. To specify deletion, a condition on the attributes of the relation selects the tuple to be deleted. In the above example, the customer name Apple is deleted from the table. The delete operation could violate referential integrity if the tuple which is deleted is referred by foreign keys from other tuples in the same database. Next, select operation. In the above example, customer name is equal to Amazon is selected. Best practices for creating a relational model. Data need to be represented as a collection of relations. Each relation should be depicted clearly in the table. Rows should contain data about instances of an entity. Columns must contain data about attributes of the entity. Cells of the table should hold a single value. Each column should be given a unique name. No two rows can be identical. Next, the values of an attribute should be from the same domain. Next, advantages of using relational model. Number one, simplicity. A relational data model in DBMS is simple than the hierarchical and network model. Number two, Structural independence. The relational database is only concerned with data and not with a structure. This can improve the performance of the model. Next, third one, easy to use. The relational model in DBMS is easy as tables consisting of rows and columns are quite natural and simple to understand. Next, fourth one, query capability. It makes possible for a high-level query language like SQL to avoid complex database navigation. Next, fifth one, data independence. The structure of a relational database can be changed without having to change any application. Sixth one, scalable. Regarding a number of records or rows and the number of fields, a database should be enlarged to enhance its usability. Next one is a disadvantage of using relational model. Few relational databases have limits on field lengths which can be exceeded. Next, relational databases can sometimes become complex as the amount of data grows and the relations between pieces of data become more complicated. Complex relational database systems may lead to isolated databases where the information cannot be shared from one system to another. Overall, the relational database modeling represents the database as a collection of relations, that is tables, attribute tables, tuple, relation schema, degree, cardinality, column, relation instance are some important components of relational model. Relational integrity constants are referred to conditions which must be present for a valid relation approach in DBMS. Domain constants can be violated if an attribute value is not appearing in the corresponding domain or it is not of the appropriate data type. Insert, select, modify, and delete are the operations performed in relational model constants. The relational database is only concerned with data and not with a structure, which can improve the performance of the model. Next, advantages of relational model in DBMS are simplicity, structural independence, ease of use, query capability, data independence, scalability, etc. Next, a few relational databases have limits on field lengths which cannot be executed. So overall relational model represents conclusion. Overall the conclusion, relational model represents the database as a collection of relations. A relation is nothing but a table of values. Every row in the table represents a collection of related data values. These rows in the table denote a real-world entity or a relationship. The table name and column names are helpful to interpret the meaning of values in each row. The data are represented as a set of relations. In the relational model, data are stored as tables. However, the physical storage of the data is independent of the way of data are logically organized. Some popular relational database management systems are DB2 and Informix Dynamic Server IBM. In Oracle and Rdb. Microsoft SQL Server and Access. The relational model concepts, the main are attributes, tables, tuples, relation schema, degree, cardinality, column, relational instance, relation key, attribute domain. Relation integrity constants are divided into three main categories, that is domain constants, number 2 key constants, number 3 integrity constants. Next is differential integrity constants. Differential integrity constants in Rdbms are based on the concept of foreign keys. Okay, overall this is about relational model in Rdbms. Okay, thank you.